Alrighty, so going to be doing the pulmonary vital signs skill check. So first, when you're going to oscillate the lungs, your pieces go forward. You got 8 spots in the front, 8 spots in the back. So you're going to start at the patient's right. Just kind of go to the 8 spots. Same thing, posterior. So you're gonna have the patient just take some deep breaths for you. Like I said, go a little bit farther down on the last 2. Next, we got respiratory rate and pulse oximetry. So when you're looking at breathing, you're going to look at different rhythms. So you're going to look at a fast-paced breathing, a very short-paced breathing, which will kind of give us our respiratory rate numbers. You're going to look at, for heart rate, you're going to look for faster heart rate, slower heart rate, and normal rates for heart rate would be 60 to 100. So that would be bradycardia and tachycardia. Respiratory rate, 12 to 18. Of course, same thing. If you're under 12, you're going to be bradypnea, tachypnea if you're above 18. And then another thing we're doing while we're looking at breathing is chest wall expansion. So making sure you got that rib and chest going up and down normally. Today we're going to be looking at the respiratory and oxygen rates at rest, during activity, and post-activity. So first, we'll do your respiratory rate. So just for a minute or so, just breathe like you normally would. I'm going to just get you at rest, and I'm going to have you do some activity. I'll do the same, and then after activity, I'll see how your body recovers. Measure for a minute, skill check purposes. I will say use that 14. Like I said, you're going to kind of look for that chest wall expansion, seeing how many breaths he takes within a minute. So now I'm going to have him go ahead and also while you're at rest, I'll get his pulse and his oxygen. So this device, like I said, will show you a heart rate and an oxygen. Press the button, get it towards me. So 95 oxygen, 94, 91 heart rate. And then also for rest, you kind of evaluate the fingernail, making sure if you have blood pressure, color comes back to normal. If you see any blue coloring in the, it means lack of oxygen. So it's just something to monitor. So go ahead now, I'll have you stand up and go ahead and just do some step ups for a minute or so. And then just any red flags before, during, or after activity that you'd want to monitor for any respiratory distress. Pain, diaphoresis, any coloring that does not look normal for the patient. And then of course, vitals are huge. That's why we monitor them. Any numbers that are going way too low or way too high is something that we'd also want to continue to monitor. All right, good. You can go ahead and sit back down for me. Okay. I'll get this right away on you while I'm getting your respiratory rate. Oxygen 94, so we kind of want you up in that 95 range. So in this instance, I would always have the patient just relax a little bit, focus on some breathing techniques with them, making sure you're able to get back up to that 95. Heart rate's looking good, 90, dropping back down as you're recovering. Same thing, I'll be watching the respiratory rate again, seeing if he was in that healthy range as well. Also expecting a slight increase just because of some activity. And now same thing, fingernail, making sure oxygen is still flowing through the body even with an activity. And then also post-activity, you always want to monitor, see if their vitals can return back to normal. So again, I'd be monitoring the respiratory rate one more time for a minute. Oxygen is coming back up, it's at 94. So I'd say continue to focus on your breathing. And heart rate is down to 74, so kind of back to where you normally would be at.
As low as possible.
Yeah.
72.
Okay. So again, we went over the lung oscillation, just the different areas, making sure we had the stethoscope on correctly. We went over the respiratory rate, nail bed assessment, and pulse oximetry before, during, and after activity. I'm just kind of going over red flags that we want to look for. Do you have any questions, Chris, about anything we did?
Nope.
Awesome, thank you very much.